Erika, thank you for joining me. I'm Anna within the marketing team here at Mangomint. Erika is the owner of Lola Rosa Head Spa and a new Mangomint customer. So excited to welcome you to the family and chat today.
I'm happy to be
here. Good. We are happy to chat with you. I want to start from the top, from the beginning. Would love to learn a little bit more about you, a little bit more about Lola Rosa and how you started the business.
Lola Rosa is a Japanese-inspired head spa. We're actually the first here in the DMV. I'm in Maryland. A little background. So my grandfather is half Filipino, and my grandmother's name was Rosalina. Lola means grandma in the Philippines, so hence our name is Grandma Rosa. I work full-time for the public school system, and I was just looking for something to do on the weekends. My kids are getting a little older, and I was seeing all these videos on Instagram of this amazing halo water thing. And I was like, well, I can do that. I've got this cosmetology license. And I just stepped out on faith, and every weekend turned into every weekend and evening, which turned into being booked out 3 months, to being turned into having to hire new staff. In 4 months, we had a second location. In 10 months, we had a third. So it just skyrocketed super, super fast. I'm so very blessed. And we just basically outgrew the old system. That's how I found you guys. The system I was with previous was perfect for just me as like a solo specialist, but multiple locations, multiple staff members. I just needed a system that could handle us. And life has been amazing since finding you.
I love it. So basically, you weren't busy enough in the school system, which I find incredibly hard to believe, and had to make life a little bit more interesting starting the business.
That wasn't it at all. I'm super busy in the school system. I'm just a busybody. So the weekends of transporting a kid here for practice, my two oldest, one's off to college, one's grown. It was just, I was getting a little bored on the weekends, but the 9 to 5 is still there, which is hopefully we will get to talk about with the features. Managing a job, a 9 to 5, and a business as well. I needed a software that was going to be like my other hands, and that's what it has been since, so that I can just go to work during the day.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and definitely something we'll talk about. I'm curious, it sounds like the business grew really quickly. When did you start the business?
September 2023. So we just hit 2 years.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. That's awesome. And that is, fast growth.
Very fast.
So it was just you to start, and then as you built out multiple locations, you built out a team as well?
So it was just me. I had leased out one big space, and then I hired my first staff member to kind of mandate while I went to work. But then that wasn't enough. So I had contractors come and split the space to give us 2 rooms, which I then hired another. And then we went to the second location. And then I now have a staff of 10.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome.
Yes.
You started to kind of answer this already, but I am curious. Obviously, you joined Mangomint a few months ago. I'd love to hear a little bit more kind of about that journey of knowing your old provider maybe wasn't big enough for you anymore and kind of finding Mangomint.
Yeah, so again, I went to the second location. So the previous provider, what I had to do was almost create 2 separate logins. It was 2 different lives existed. I had location 1, location 2, and it was just a nature of habit. I had knew this system so well. I just didn't want to change. It wasn't until the third one came that I was like, okay, I can't have 3 different logins, it was just too much. So I started to research. I want to say once I completely hit year 1, so it would have been September of 2024. But then the holiday season came, and I was like, oh, gift card sales are skyrocketing. Every time I would look, something would happen that would make me kind of put it on the back burner. I knew I needed something bigger. It was just no more putting it on the back burner. And I literally Googled software system that can manage multiple locations. You guys were the first that popped up. I watched a demo. The demo just blew me away. I didn't even look at any other software. So, to be honest, I have nothing else to compare it to, and I have no desire. And just from there, it's just been amazing since. Every person I've contacted has just made every single time I meet a new member of your team, there's like this light bulb that's like, that's why God sent Mangomint at the top of that Google search. And here we are.
Glad you found us and glad we can hopefully take at least a little bit off of your plate as you're juggling getting back into the business and swing of things. But yeah, I will also tell you that Marshall, who probably is the star of that video demo you watched, it was pulling teeth to convince her to do those. So I will be certainly passing along that people are watching it.
Please. I mean, it drew me in. I mean, it was so very detailed, and I'm just really big on like the feeling, the vibe. It means a lot to me, and I truly believe that's like 99% of the success of my business. It's the people I hire and like our principals. You know, we can provide a great service all day, but they want to come to likable people. They want to be in a space where they're well taken care of. And that is honestly what I received from everybody in Mangomint. So it wasn't about the price or this. It was just kind of like, I just felt safe with you guys. And this is my business ultimately. So yes.
That means a lot. We are always like, I am personally always so impressed by our support team, our salespeople, all of them, like for maintaining the feeling of real people, even in those roles. So I'm always really happy to hear that translates to you and to your business. I know you talked a lot about kind of one of the main desires to switch software was that kind of multi-location support. Was there anything else really like on your wish list? My next software needs to solve this.
No, it wasn't on my wish list, but now that I have this like connect feature, I realized that I could never have life without it. It's one of those things that you didn't know you needed until you had it. The only thing I sought after was the multi-location capability. That was it. And then as the additional features you guys offer began to either be introduced or that I found that I had all along, I was just like, oh, heck no. Like this, there's no way that I have been operating this long without certain things.
I love it. Let's talk about Connect then. The feature you didn't know you needed. Tell us a little bit about what features in Connect you're using. And I know working your 9 to 5, how does that contribute to how you're running Lola Rosa?
I mean, it honestly, our staff kind of calls Connect like our virtual assistant. It just feels like we have this person doing. So I have two assistants who work in the spa, and it has just taken a huge load off of them that they're able to do, other hands-on thing that say Mangomint can't do for me. Form reminders, that part of their job was to be sure that if the client hasn't had the form, send a text, send them a reminder, let this list know that we haven't seen them in a while, or just even being able to text with them directly. We have a landline and then we kept a spa cell phone. But, got confusing for the clients. They're calling the spa phone, but then they're getting a text from this random iPhone number. And then say the specialist is running late that day and they want to text the client to let them know they're running late. Then they're getting another text from their personal cell phone. So just from the client's perspective, it's like, well, shoot, which number do I save? How do I contact them? So being able to have that all in one space, myself, my managers, and my assistants all to be able to connect with the clients to and from the same number, it just you can tell that it's building a sense of like relationship with the clients that I don't think they were able to like gauge at first. Now when they see this number, that's Lola Rosa, whether it's a marketing text, a reminder, anything, it kind of just gives me a more sense of identity as far as the texting. I also use the web chat feature. As with me, sometimes I'm up all times of the night. So if somebody ventures to our website and they have a question or anything, they can go right to that web chat. We might not see it at 3 a.m., but as soon as I wake up, it's there sitting right in my inbox. One of us knows to get back to them, so it's literally just working for us 24/7. And
I love it.
sure I'm forgetting a feature because it's so much under the umbrella.
No, I love it. Did you see the outside business hours update this week?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now no one needs, I mean, I hope that most people assume they might wait a bit if they're messaging at 3 a.m., but now no questions on the table about that.
I love it because I think it can get an automated response and as well as the new voicemail, the after hours voicemail
Yeah,
that I haven't set up yet. But it's like you guys just keep showering us with stuff. Like,
that's our job. That's our job. The product team, they're working hard on that. So I'm glad it is serving you well. You mentioned obviously kind of communication, the voice calls, web chat, and two-way texting. You also started to mention your marketing and using the text flows through Mangomint. Can you tell me a little bit about what flows you have set up there and kind of what you're doing?
you want to hear about all of them because I have like two running.
Give it give it all to me. I want to hear all of your flows.
And then, okay, I'm going to tell you about them and then tell you a little story. So, I have a brother who is a marketing major. Marketing is his thing. And he was just trying to figure out desperately like what he could do to help because he just saw that his sister's business was kind of like, hurting and he wanted to help any way possible. So, I couldn't even tell you the thing, this ORM or this something where he's like, just give me all of the clients. I'm going to create these flows. He started talking about these flows and it just sounded like biology, my least favorite subject ever. He's talking to me and he comes over and we have all these meetings and he goes, it'll send them a message in 2 weeks. And oh gosh, okay. And then I find Mangomint and I see this word flows, but I'm using it the wrong way. It's sending, like a $20 offer to new clients, which has been exceptional, But when I met with Mare for the first time and we're looking at it and she's like, you're not using this to its full like capability. I'm telling her what I need. She's like, I can do that. Well, my girl Mare went to work and came back the next day and she has this whole little thing where they fill out a form and then they get a text in 2 days and then an email. I couldn't even repeat the flow, but it's so beautiful. It's got images and everything. And I swear since our books have just been like packed in the last like 3 to 4 weeks since she set it up. Of course, I love the fact that I can see the statistics with each flow to see which one is really working and which one isn't, performing at its best. But I haven't seen one not performing at its best. Some are going to bring 50 appointments, some may bring two, but two is still in my numbers, that's $350. It's still revenue. So, and then with being so new, I realized I've only been with you all since October. So I've just been telling myself, like, imagine these flows running for a solid year. I can only imagine the outcome then. So we have the new client, we have the interest form is what we call the one that Mare set up. I have a birthday one running that just says, hey, a little birdie's told us the birthday's coming up. We've gotten some really good feedback from that one. I even have one, my newest location is kind of in like a solar salon suites kind of setup. And a lot of the clients had an issue getting into the main door. So we even go there that it filters out, hey, is this client going to this location? Send them this message letting them know this is the code to get in. So that call has stopped. It just, I could go on and on.
I love it. Yeah, she's the best. And when she sent me your name and account to reach out to, she had sent it to me just as a message first and was like, oh, Erika uses this feature, this feature, this feature. So when I saw you joined in October, I was like, is this right? Because you're making the most of everything. I give you big props.
I'm trying. It's pure step out on faith move. I'll be honest. Because it's you get what you pay for. That's the very best way that I can put it. In comparison to where I came from and trying to penny pinch, it showed in the success of my business. Although we were flourishing and doing great, not even just monetizing or the money aspect, just looking at the stress level of my staff, myself, it just has gotten so much calmer, just with a system that, again, it's just taken a lot of duties from us and can do it. And we can take a look at it. We can see it. Payroll. Talk about payroll.
I was going to talk about payroll next. You know what I'm going to ask you about.
Click, click. I can go get drinks with my husband. It's like, it is the most easiest payroll system ever.
I love it. And that is a note to self line for later. Payroll so you can go get drinks with your husband. There you go. You wrote our next.
Payroll then tequila.
We will be using that. I don't know how yet, but when you see it, it was you.
Yes. Yes.
I always like to ask people, if a friend in the industry called you up, asked about Mangomint, asked if it was worth it, what would you say? Or what would your advice be to them?
Just do it. Unfortunately, it's like one of those things where I don't know if I could sit with anyone and make them like a believer. You have to be a part of it. I can't. I try. I'm in the industry. So, I have heard you guys a million times over. I talk about you guys, but you have to be ready to make a big change. Like I said, I put off my transition so many times. And now, like, experiencing it, I regret that so much. I just wish I would have just listened when my intuition told me to do it the first time. I hate that it took something so drastic to happen. No, I believe that God doesn't make mistakes and it was aligned in the perfect timing, but I would just tell them try. And again, I love that you guys offer that trial time. I was allowed a time to kind of try it out before, like committing. And you guys at Mangomint have literally mastered like the art of pulling you in. I'm sure it's your marketing, your team, I don't know what kind of customer service training you guys have to go through, or people just are hiring great people. I don't know, but it's like once they're in, I don't believe that your retention rate is low at all. And that's what I would tell people. You just got to try it and let it speak for itself.
I appreciate that. It's a scary decision, and we know that. I mean, you're juggling so many things as a business owner, to take the leap of faith, to deal with transitioning over. We know what a big decision it is. So I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that it has been worth your while. That is the majority of my questions. We'll end on the two we kind of always do. First, you got cute for today. You knew we were coming.
Yes.
Successfully, very cute. Was there anything that was on your mind that I didn't ask you about, that we didn't talk about, that you would like to?
What I would say, if there's anybody who sees this, who's considering, is that the transition is nowhere near as scary as I thought. I don't think we talked about onboarding. That was that in itself, I don't even have the words. The structure of the onboarding, the to-do list that was on my screen as soon as I logged on, reminding me of anything. I mean, as a business owner, especially if you've been with this specific software or company for so long, I know for me, it was just like the data transfer. All of that was so scary. And you guys made it, just so very smooth and not scary at all. I felt very confident and safe with my clients, stuff. The gift card transition. The smallest things that I was so nervous about. And I bring up gift cards because I can't remember who, it probably was Mayor. Somebody had shown me how to run the report of showing all of my outstanding gift cards. And I was blown away by the number. I had my staff pull it. They sent a text out, like a random text to every single one, like, hey, don't forget, I think we got like 20 people booked in a day. Like, people get these gift cards and forget. But as I'm looking through the list, the accuracy of the amounts, the notes, just leaves me speechless. So yes, just if you are considering, just know that the transition is seamless, so very simple, and that you guys literally walked me through every step. So I didn't even feel like a struggle week or a struggle day, not at all.
I love it.